Well, if you've seen the title of this video, you're probably asking the same question. Is the future here? Is electric now? I'm sitting in a 2022 Audi Q4 E-tron. It's the hottest new SUV from Audi, and it is all electric. I don't know. Let's see. Check it out. Let's go. Well, would you look at that? Huh? I'm not even going to say anything for a couple seconds. I'm just going to let you guys just breathe her in. So this handsome little girl, 2022 Audi Q4 e-tron, all electric. This thing is hotter than a day in Texas, okay, in the summertime. I mean, just that dry heat, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's how hot this thing is. The waiting list for these cars are longer than some of our Porsche 911s, and I mean, those things are insane in all their self. But yeah, this thing is super special. You know, the e-tron has been out for a couple years, and it's just you know, kind of taken off in the EV world. It's put Audi comfortable high up there for electric vehicle. They've been great, and so this thing has been in the works for a few years now. We've been hearing about this thing, and we've been really excited. This is a smaller, you know, the Q4 is a little bit smaller than an e-tron. It's actually in between a Q3 and a Q5, obviously, okay, right? Size wise. So you guys know the deal. If you watch the channel long enough, hit you guys with some quick knowledge as we're walking around it. First of all, these things start at just over 43 grand. I think 43.9 is the base MSRP. Now this particular unit happens to be a demo for us, okay? So what that means is it is not for sale yet. It has to be in inventory for at least 3 months. People can come in and drive it, obviously, to make sure they like it, make sure they want one. People on the waiting list, obviously. And then when we do get more for sale, obviously we work our way down the list. And then when this thing becomes, you know, over 90 days old, then we can put it in inventory and sell it. So like I said, MSRP starts at 43.9. This one is not. This one is like 63 grand. And they put every option on this one, just, you know, obviously as a demo, so everybody can kind of see everything. So these things, first of all, get an estimated 241 miles to a charge. Very impressive. 82 kilowatt, 400 volt lithium ion batteries, 295 horsepower. Pretty impressive. 0 to 60, 5.8 seconds. Okay, and this is pretty important stat right here. With fast charge, you know, DC power charger that you would find, you know, anywhere basically nowadays, this thing will charge from 5% to 80% in just 38 minutes. That is super impressive. That means now you can actually take a trip in this thing. You know, if you actually wanted to go somewhere, you could do that. You could plan a family trip and take it, you know, to California, Arizona, or, you know, 6-7 hours away, and not have that EV range anxiety, and actually, you know, get there. Even if you do run low, have the confidence that, you know, in just 30 minutes time, you guys can grab a burger or something, scarf that down, you come back, your unit's back at 85% charge, back on the road. You know, there you go. That is super impressive. Also too, with Audi, you get 250 kilowatts of complimentary charging via Electrify America. And Electrify America is a network of cross-country stations, basically in long trips and metro areas that you can get charging from. So that is huge. That is very huge. These E-trons are just so darn impressive and special. I mean, these things are continuously tested to enhance performance, refine technology, and incorporate new elements of design in the e-mobility game. And they test these things in extreme temperatures, you know, from deserts to Arctic climates, to make sure that they hold up. And boy, I tell you, they do. This beautiful gray color. I believe this is Daytona gray. Could be wrong, probably not. Beautiful EV wheels. You know, one thing I always complain about for EV is the wheels are terrible looking, and they cover them up, you know, to help, you know, with the wind drag and all of that and get the maximum range, and I get it, but goodness gracious, it makes them ugly. These things are not. Black with a polish. They're 20-inch wheels, you know, nice Bridgestone tires. This is a Quattro. It is all-wheel drive, obviously. Okay. This thing gives you 24.8 feet of cargo space, 53.1 with the seat down, which is huge. This is huge. These units, although this one doesn't have it because there still is a chip shortage, believe it or not. So there are one or two things that this thing does not have, but this is the first Audi that will have an augmented heads-up display. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. And it's basically a virtual reality, real-time vehicle info right in your line of sight. So it'll pick up a vehicle, it'll put up signs right in the heads-up display, tell you if you're too close, tell you if they're driving too slow, you know, things of that nature. It is super, super impressive. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hop inside, we're gonna open up the doors, I'm gonna give you a little quick walk around, we'll cover a few things inside, then you know the deal. Top secret test facility, we're gonna give it a rip. Let's go. Okay, inside the car now, you can see it's got this nice open center console here, plenty of room for the big gulps, USB charging, 12 volt down there, massive storage under here. This is kind of your, I don't know, your go fast, go backwards, power, volume, selector, dash pad thingy. Okay, everything's here is what I'm saying. So start button kicks everything on. You get the traditional Audi dash with your 3D navigation, which obviously you can work through, check out your consumption, telephone, what you're listening to, things of that nature. Same Audi dash, that hasn't changed. That's been the same since 2020, I believe. I like that because it's really simple to use. It's all push button, things work very easily. 3D nav. Okay, this thing is new. This is the new shifter, and so this obviously will be drive. You have the neutral, reverse, right, and then park is up there, and you can access your front cameras and your camera viewing, backup, rear. Okay, and then you can kill it from there. Your volume, that is new. It's on a turn dial right there. That's a little goofy. You can also forward and go back on your audio selection there. It's a little goofy, a little bit weird to get used to, but you know, no biggie. This is super cool. And check out these air vents right here. These blow right in your eyeballs in the passenger side. Talking about cooling yourself down, this thing will cool you down quick, fast, and in a hurry. One thing to point out, this does have heated seats, does have a heated steering wheel. By the way, check out this steering wheel. Such a weird, goofy looking UFO. What in the George Jetson is going on here? You know, straight flat top as well as a flat bottom. We've seen plenty of flat bottom steering wheels in high-end, you know, sports cars, but the flat top, when you turn and you grip the top of this thing, it feels pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty weird. Also, one thing to point out, this dash is about 3.5 miles long. And I ain't kidding you. You can put 2 or 3 cats up here, all of the Kleenex. You know, I hate to see what a dash mat would cost in this thing. You know, probably thousands of dollars. Look at that real estate there. Goodness gracious. I don't know. That's like an EV thing. You know, Teslas have a really big dash too. I don't know. Must be a lot of gadgets in there that they need to hide. Whatever. Okay. Nice looking seating. Very good Audi high-end leather and stitching. These have the Sonos sound system in it. And boy, does this thing jam. I think it has 27, 28 speakers, something like that. Can't really remember. But what Sonos does is they strategically place them throughout random spots of the vehicle to just really soak it in the sound there. So you have, you know, these pillar speakers. You have some in these A-pillars there on the sides. Right here, obviously in the doors, in the back hatch door. You know, and it really does jam. I really do compliment that. You know, I'm a music guy. Let's take a look at the sunroof real quick before I forget. Figure out which button there, obviously. Sorry. Massive looking roof there. So you got the rear sunroof and vent, and then the rear is just a skylight. Boy, this is just a peach. I absolutely love this thing. That's going to do it for the interior tour. Let's get ready to take this thing for a rip. First thing I need to point out right off the bat is just how quiet it is in the interior. I mean, it is awkwardly quiet, right? I mean, you could hear just about everything. Even if I turn the air down, man, quiet down now. Quiet down. It's weirdly quiet. And that's just the EV thing, you know, there's no engine revving, there's no, you know, there's a lot less noise, and they go through extra lengths, especially Audi, to just really sound dampen the interior of the cabin, so you really don't hear a whole lot. It's quite interesting, actually. Now, normally by now, I would have cut to some music, and then I would cut it out, and so you can hear it accelerate. But unfortunately, that's all you get. Now I tell you, for 295 horsepower, all electric EV, this thing still gets up and goes. It does move pretty good. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Is electric the new? Are we, you know, are we there yet? The only thing that really bothers me is you know, I know Audi has Electrify America, but where I live, you know, out here in the desert, there aren't a lot of charging stations and ports. Even in our metro city, there really isn't. I think there's only like 1 or 2. And so, you know, I still have a little bit of range anxiety, because what if, you know, you are traveling across country and, you know, you have this route planned out through Electrify America, and you're going to stop here to get a charge, you know, and the next charging station from there, you know, is, you know, 100 miles away, let's just say. So you make it there and you have, you know, 40, 50 miles till empty, and you get there and the freaking charging station doesn't work. You know, I mean, what do you do then? Then you're absolutely screwed, because now you don't have enough range to get to the next one. Obviously, you can't go backwards. You know, is your trip screwed then and there? Do you have to get towed? I mean, what do you do? And that is the only thing that really bothers me. You know, at least, you know, gas station, if one's out, you know, chances are there's another one really close by, you know, and that's just not the case yet for electric charging stations. And for that right there in itself, that is really the only thing that bothers me. But on the flip side to that, if you just commute, you know, short, like I commute personally about 30 miles round trip a day, that's perfect to me for an EV. You know, that means I could probably go all week, if not 2 weeks, if I drive sensible enough and not have to charge it. You know, I mean, and to me, that's actually absolutely worth it. Gas prices are still crazy. I know they've been coming down, but let's just face it, they're still really ridiculous. You know, especially if you drive a diesel or you have something that takes premium gas, you know, I mean, it's just, it hurts. It really does. So, you know, I am pro EV for that. I still don't think, you know, we're ready to have to have every vehicle in our household be electric. You know, can we have one and then have a family vehicle that's gasoline? That's probably the move for now. You know, maybe 10 years later when there's a charging station everywhere, just like a gas station, then, you know, maybe so. But, you know, until then, I still think, you know, if you do buy an electric vehicle, you should probably have a gasoline vehicle somewhere as a backup, you know, just in case. You never know. You never know. But I'll tell you one thing I do like. I mean, the electric motor torque, even at a lower horsepower level like these things are, I mean, they just hit you right now. I mean, that is, I mean, just look, you know, I mean, and that thing is just zooming by people, you know, quickly. It is so much fun to drive. I don't know if I can personally own one because I would just do that all day. My range would be terrible. You know, if it says it gets 200 and whatever miles to a charge, it's gonna be cut in half because I'm just gonna be doing that. I mean, look at that. And this is 295 horsepower. How insane is that? Well, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Thank you for your love and support and your views. We will bring you more content really soon. I have a very special car for you next time. Tune in. It's gonna be awesome.